Now, what if your investments could break the cycle of poverty and create pathways to prosperity? Imagine a future where a compassionate investor isn't just setting up a transitional housing facility or partnering with a business, but they're actually transforming the lives of others by teaching sustainable skills and building communities that thrive. Welcome to Live for Free, where we transform lives. And in this final episode on our series of the power of compassionate investing, we're going to explore the future of compassionate investing and how it can end homelessness and poverty by providing opportunities for skills training, creating housing that teaches sustainability, and empowering individuals to achieve lasting independence. That is the future of compassionate investing, and we're going to get right into that now. So as we think about this space of compassionate investing and where we are in the future, in the next 5 years, what we're about to see is a large number of individuals who are going to find themselves unhoused because the silver tsunami is about to happen. You're going to have all the baby boomers who need some type of assisted living. They're going to have no housing available to them. You're going to have individuals who are going to be released from incarceration, who are going to come out into the system as well. And you have all these youth who are aging out of foster care, who are going to then hit our community in the next 5 years. We are about to see such a large impact on our communities as it relates to the unhoused. We have to be serious about what we can do to impact them. And I know when you can be a compassionate investor, whether you're doing it in real estate or in properties, or whether you're doing it in other areas, partnering with agencies and other people who are lined up with the same mission that you lined up, this is going to be the future of compassionate investing. This is what it's going to look like, because we have to be able to first be able to address the needs that we have as it relates to poverty. We're dealing in a climate where we do not have a lot of people making a lot of money. We're having a larger number of people who don't have enough. The inflation is crazy stupid. We are seeing that now, where milk, I think I just saw milk or eggs was like $12 for 2 cartons of eggs. Like, that's just ridiculous. And depending on where you are in the country, determines whether or not you can afford to get that or not. So we're seeing this thing about to collide. So we're going to have to do some things to make an impact in these areas. So when you can address the economic disparities with compassionate investing, you can significantly begin to make a difference. So by providing opportunities where it's needed most, you're going to have to focus on that as a compassionate investor. And right now, I'm telling you, housing is what we're lacking right now, is affordable housing. So providing opportunities like that is necessary, especially with this tsunami that is about to happen. And then as you think about what you offer in your housing, because that is going to be critical. You don't want to just simply provide housing unless you want to just simply have a group of people who just simply live in a house. Now, I do know people who do that, and I'm not saying anything badly about them. What I'm saying is we have to find a way to take advantage of an opportunity to have them all, and then give them what they need so that they can ultimately be sustainable. That's why I say all the time, we have to provide more than just simply housing, or more than just a place where they can collect a check. Like, some people, that's all they can do. But for those who are about to still be able to have the ability to get money, show them how. Teach them some sustainable skills so that you can begin to close this gap on knowledge, this gap on training that people are lacking right now. But those are the type of things that we need to start doing. So as you start doing that, and specifically working on creating housing that teaches sustainability, that's my niche. I helps develop individuals too. When you can do that and you build homes that have a purpose, something that shows them how to gain the skills that they need that they're lacking. Because a lot of people who were coming out of incarceration, they lost that opportunity if they weren't getting it while they were in prison. So when they come out, they have big gaps in skills that they don't have. So giving them the things that they need so that they can have it first. Get them stable in housing, then get them stable in some type of skill so that they can learn. But it goes more than that, because you're going to have to make sure that there's a strong understanding around financial literacy. You want to make sure that they understand budgeting. You want to make sure that they understand what is available to them so that they can then go to something more sustainable. And when I say sustainable, I think of things that you can do that if heaven forbid you lost your job, it can sustain you. So that's what I call sustainable skills training. So if you lose a job, or you can even say learning how to create a resume could be potentially a sustainable skill, because you keeping your resume solid so that whenever you do lose a job, you can quickly get into another one. But those are things that you have to be thinking about. But when I talk about sustainable skills, I'm thinking about things that you need so when life happens, you can sustain yourself. Or even understanding how gardening works. That's a sustainable skill. Learning those things that teach you how to get yourself together when things happen, that's the type of skill set that you want to be able to provide people if they are in your housing, so that you can then replicate that going forward and helping those people get what they need. Also, as you think about ways in which you can provide sustainable skills training around like construction, because those are things that we do. We partner with a lot of other businesses that have skills that these individuals need so that they can learn a trade, because trades is something you can fall back on when you have nothing else to do. I remember when I was a little girl, I actually used to braid hair, and I didn't make it like a career or anything, but I knew if rubber hit the road, I could get in there and braid somebody's hair and charge them to get the hair done, right? It's learning something that you know you can do. Learning how to sew. I don't know how to sew, but learning how to do things that if you had to depend on yourself to be able to sustain yourself, you can do. So learning trades like in construction are critical, though, because those are things that you can always lend to somebody else. You can go work with a contractor and paint and get paid more than what you would be paid for if you worked at like McDonald's. But those are the type of things we're talking about. And then learning how, to take care of a garden and grow a garden. This is my first year doing a garden, which was amazing. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed growing a garden. But learning how to do those type of skills, I now know, and now I'm enjoying the fruit of my collard greens in this weather right now, because it's just flourishing. But this is my first year doing a garden. So teaching individuals how to do that so that, heaven forbid, you got some food you can eat, and it's good food. It's not like food that is got all these other things that they put in our food, but actually food from the ground that God taught you how to grow and bring up, and now you can enjoy. And that is a skill that we're not teaching our kids how to do anymore. Those are the type of things I'm talking about. And then teaching individuals how to be an entrepreneur, because at the end of the day too, when you're talking about learning how to run a business, that is not a natural thing to do. I've been doing it since I was 11 years old. The skill sets that my mother gave me, and I give those to my guys so that they can learn how to build a business, how to market their business, how to manage their business. These are the type of things that we're talking about as a sustainable skill that they can build on. So heaven forbid something happens, they have a way in which they can take care of themselves. So going back to the power of compassionate investing, that is the power of that is what our future is going to look like when we can exercise it well as a compassionate investor. You want to be able to teach skills that individuals then can take so that you can diminish some of these disparities in helping people learn how to take care of themselves. We have to get to a point where I know it's necessary for people to rely on things to be given to help them lift, but once you've been taught how to fish, you can fish for yourself. You don't have to sit there and wait for somebody to put fish in your hand. You know how to get it yourself. Because I truly believe that there is we have to somehow break this poverty cycle. When we can break that cycle of poverty within families and teach individuals how to gain skills that help them be able to change their lives, and they have more stable jobs that they can stay with, those are the type of things that we're talking about. In addition to having stability and employment, knowing also how to do something on the side and something that you're passionate about. When you can do something on the side that you're passionate about, and heaven forbid something happens to this job, you could fall back on that. But those are ways in which we can break the cycle of poverty. And I truly believe that through compassionate investing, we can do that. We also can empower communities. Being able to empower communities to see that model exercised within what you're creating. Not only are you going to empower communities by helping people in these skills, but you're also going to help them be able to give back to communities, because that's what we're talking about as well. And then as we look at the long-term vision, because I have a long-term vision for this compassionate investing that I do, whether I'm talking about investing with businesses and other things, but with this housing model, the vision of what we can create is phenomenal. And I truly believe that we can build sustainable communities through compassionate investing when done right. Imagine when you have a street, let's just call it a block. If I had a block of housing that cater to individuals who want to sustain themselves, and you teach sustainability within that block, now that same ability you can expand then to another block, and then to another block. You eventually will have a neighborhood of sustainability through one model that you created. And that model of teaching individuals how to create affordable housing and then cater to those sustainable skills that will then ultimately lead to that community, that's powerful. There's so much power in that. Not only are you able to teach and empower individuals through investment property ownership, but you will then begin to change the way in which their generations look from generation to generation. Imagine if you had learned this when you were 18 years old, and now here you are, maybe 50, and the skills that you would have then shown your children, who then, when they turn 18, do the same thing that you do in teaching this compassionate investing in transitional housing. The power that you have to impact generations is phenomenal. As well as if poverty was in your family, it no longer exists, because you've created a system for teaching individuals in your family how to not only sustain themselves, but build wealth through real estate. That right there is worth its weight in gold. So when you think about being a compassionate investor in the future, your role is powerful. Because not only as a compassionate investor, you are able to not only impact your life, but you're driving systemic change in other people's lives as well. You are positioning yourself also to be able to be a leader in your community just by doing this type of housing. So the power of compassionate investing is so immense. This is an opportunity I want many of you to grab a hold of, because I want to see how we can make change happen, not just in the community in which you live in, but across this nation. And by combining profit with purpose, because that's what we do in our properties, we are teaching individuals how to sustain themselves from one house to one house, from one project to one project, and not only do that, but also change the lives that they currently have. So I hope that this particular series has blessed you. Give me some comments below. give me some questions. If you had some questions related to any one of the episodes that we had on the power of compassionate investing, I want to answer that for you. And book some time with me. I'd love to be able to chat with you about what project you're thinking about doing as you are right now thinking about being a compassionate investor. So get out here and transform the world, because I truly believe that transformed lives transform the world.